All right, we'll start out with introductions, and then we're going to do a quick agenda review because I have one thing I want to add to the agenda with your approval. So we'll go around the horn. We'll start with
Larry Hamilton, PSC Outdoors, represent the outfitters.
Janelle Rowell, General Manager of the Comfort Inn, and I'm the representative for the Waynesville St. Robert Chamber.
Stevie Storybook Moments, Stories Pumpkin Patch. I'm also in the Chamber of Commerce.
Laura Schulpreister from Citizens Bank of the Midwest, and I'm a business interest.
Betsy Thompson, and I am GM at the Baymont, and welcome. And I am hotelier.
Ursula Laviota, Hopper's Pub, restaurant representative and vice president.
I'm Mark Ellinger with Ellinger and Associates in Jefferson City, and I represent the board.
Chris Landez, and I represent the restaurant hospitality side with Colton Steakhouse.
Todd Bailey, Lake Regional. I'm the Regional Chamber of Commerce representative.
Glenn Smith, Mayor of Crocker. I represent the Crocker Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Rick Morris, the board president, and I come from the hotel representative.
Beth Wiles, Executive Director.
All right, so the agenda, what I'd ask to add before I request a motion is, and I want to make sure Laura has an opportunity to talk in open session. She has to speak on, Laura Huffman has to speak on marketing plan and budget. Is that correct, Laura?
Yes, but I prefer to discuss that after the marketing budget, after the marketing plan and budget is discussed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So,
Yes.
so I'd like to put it at the end of the new business, please. And I would accept the motion.
I would make a motion.
Janelle.
And Laura.
Okay. Now, Laura, for the agenda change, and then I would accept a motion, or excuse me, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Then I would accept a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Don?
Second.
Janelle, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Now, we have at the start of the session is a closed session to discuss personnel. So I'd ask a request for,
Closed session.
okay.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Before we move into closed session, can we take a roll call vote on that? I'm not really sure that everything that we're discussing will fall under personnel. I don't see how criticism of the executive director and of the executive board falls under personnel. And is the lawyer here representing you because of me?
Probably need to call, needs to be per RSMO 16.02.
Yep.
Complete close record.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. Yep.
I would suggest the motion be made by saying that we go into closed session pursuant to Chapter
RSMO.
610.021, Sections 1, 2, and 3, dealing with personnel, legal actions. I guess we've got real estate on there too, so real estate, and then have a vote to close on that person, on that basis, and then do take a roll call vote.
Okay.
I would amend my motion
Okay.
as per our terms.
Okay.
Again, before we move into closed session, for the record, may I ask who this gentleman is who is sitting at the Tourism Bureau Board?
Sure. He explained who he is during introductions.
I'm sorry, I was working on something else. Can we get it again?
Sure.
I'm counsel for the Tourism Board. My name's Mark Ellinger.
Okay,
I
so
introduced
you're-
myself earlier.
So you're here representing the Tourism Board against me? I'm not sure why you're here.
I represent the Tourism Board. That's
Okay.
the answer to that question.
All right, and did we take a roll call vote on the going into closed session?
So Laura, we're getting ready to do that.
Okay.
And we're not trying to be confrontational. We're going to do it by the book. We don't want to be confrontational. So
That hasn't been evident so far.
And I have a motion, amended motion on the table.
Okay.
As per our attorney's advice.
thank you. Any second? Second, Larry? Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Aye.
Larry? Aye.
Yes.
Janelle? Aye.
Well, you say your last name and then I.
First name
And
is
that's the roll call vote.
Yeah.
Call the first,
Smith.
call the name.
Smith, yes.
Yes.
And then
Be first or last name or both.
Excellent. So CD Story.
Yeah, I.
Laura Shellposter.
Yes.
Betsy Thompson.
Yes.
Yes.
Ursula Leviota, yes.
Chris Landis, yes.
Todd Bailey, yes.
Glenn Smith, yes.
Rick Morris, yes. Unanimous vote.
So now go into closed session.
Okay, so before we go into closed session, we need all recording devices off.
I had actually asked for permission to be able to record the closed session. Is that possible, or am I being denied that?
We, go
By
ahead.
definition, under state law, closed sessions are closed and they're not subject to recording by any person. So they,
That's
to be
not
in a closed
completely
session.
accurate. The city of St. Robert records their closed sessions. It's not a law that you have to say no.
I'm not here to engage in a debate. Pursuant to Chapter 610, when the board votes to go into closed session, the board is obligated to keep minutes of those closed session, and there's no provision for recording those closed session by anybody except for the board if the board chose to record their own internal recording.
Okay, I will note that for my meeting with prosecuting attorney Kevin Hillman.
Feel free to have him call me.